G'day guys, thought I'd come down the creek and just do 1 or 2 pans just to see, just to get out more than anything really. Might come to a place sort of like this and think, oh, where do I start? Where might the gold be getting trapped? Bedrock like this, in my shadow, where my shadow is there. It's always a good start, I suppose. You know, if there was any gold, it's probably not gonna, it's at its lowest point in this sense. It can't really get down further than the bedrock. So that might be worth a crack, I don't know. Might just do a couple of pans just there. A little ledge, so I'm assuming the creek runs this way, comes over this way. I don't know if this is diggings or what the go is. It's a bit strange to be piled up like this, so it's probably someone's been digging here. That's probably definitely someone digging. I don't think that's, that's just sitting there, so I reckon someone's had a crack in there. Covered up their hole, maybe. Might even do the first pan out of there. First pan out of there. Then we'll try in this bedrock a little bit, see what happens. Alright, so I did my first pan. I've just got this metal screen. And surprisingly, yeah, got a nice little bit of gold. Some black sand in there as well. So definitely a little bit of gold there. Now I'm not going to spend too much time there. I'm going to, as I said, 1 pan there. I'm going to do a pan just off here and see what happens. Alright, this is how unprepared I was actually going for a dig today. I actually just went for a drive. Haven't brought a snuffer bottle. So if you remember the first pan, I had that one little bit. This is the second pan. Getting a bit better colour, just to give you an idea of how much I dug. That's that spot that I was showing with the bedrock. It's actually all decomposed bedrock. I might get my yabby pump and a bucket of water and just fill that up and just suck that out and see what happens. Just remember, each pan that I'm doing, it's just going to be accumulation of the gold that I'm getting. It's not going to be like, as I said, the first pan, that little 1 dot. Second pan, quite a few more bits. And hopefully, when I get a bucket and some water and my bait pump, hopefully the gold will increase. So just remember what I had in there. And we'll see what happens next pan. Alright, set the phone up as best I can, just to demonstrate what I'm going to do. So, pan close by, going to pour water in. Pretty much fills it up pretty level. And we'll just suck up some material. Get all the loose stuff. What this will also do is let me get in a bit deeper. It's starting to run out of water. Just trying to wash as much of this bedrock down. Get it nice and clean. Better. Get your hand in here. Once you've sucked a bit of material, what you tend to find is you can get into the rocks a bit better. Might just get a little bit of water there, but might go get some more water. And then work out which way I'm going to go. But no, actually, look, that'll probably do. That'll give me a good indication of what's going on. If I then travel out this way, if I travel out this way, or if the gold was sitting in that first top layer before, like this decaying bedrock. Should be able to see that now. See where the gold was. Alright, I'll pan this out quickly and see what happens. Alright, just quickly did that pan. Honestly, I'm not sure if I picked up all that much. So, what's that telling me? We're probably dealing with a bit of flood gold. So, it's not worth going to the effort of sucking that stuff up. So what I'll do, or going down that deep. Look, there might be a bit of gold caught in there. I'll just knock some of those, hit that rock. It's got too much gravel on there. What I'll do, or what I'm doing, what I can do actually, if I get some water, this will be the easiest way. Get me water, get the rocks, just wash them off. I need to put these in the pan, just wash off any gravels. This bigger stuff that doesn't have anything on there. So I only got a little tiny shovel thing here. What I'll do, I'll stop filming anyway, but you get the idea. I'm going to get all these gravels here and do a pan and see what happens. Alright, I'm done. So I did try here and not very good. So I thought I'd go off the opposite way. So I did along here. Now look, I haven't totally cleaned this off. This was just a bit of a play today just to get out. I haven't been out for so long, it's crazy. But I'll show you my results. So I did one pan just there. So one pan there, 2 pans, maybe 3 there, 4, 5 pans. Alright, so little flecks all through there. 4 reasonably sized pieces, you know, like they're not, you know, nothing to write home about, but come on, focus. There you go. Nice little bit of gold. It's all off my fingers now, as I said. Didn't bring a snuffer bottle, so I'll carefully get that to the pan. So, what are we going to take out of this? Always check where someone's dug previous. What I'll do now is just throw these rocks back in where they were, cover the hole. What do we learn? Always try where someone has prospected. Check, see what they might have left behind. Might give you an indication. You don't know, you might find a hole, there's been a flood since then, a bit of gold might drop in. Bedrock. Doesn't always mean you're going to crevice and get in really, really deep. Most of these places, especially if they're easy to get to with a car, have been dug out and dug out and dug out and, you know, like forever. So when they fill up, it potentially is, it's flood gold on top and just only go in the top layer. Now that water has stopped flowing, it's just my friend's wanting to make an appearance here. And by my friend, calling this bastard, he'd love to get attached. Come here, mate. Come here. Come here, don't turn around. Now, little buddy here has just come out, probably disturbed his home. I think it's a leech actually. I think it's a big slug. Big tiger slug or something. But when the water does stop flowing, I was going to say, the leeches will be out as well. So, you know, they say gold is where you find it. It is. Because obviously that's where you found it. But just remember, check those layers. Doesn't necessarily mean that you found a little bit of gold on top, that you dig down deep and deep and keep digging down deep and the gold's going to get better. It's not always the case. Not always the case. It could have been a quick flash flood, only so much gravel's moved on. And now look, I'm pretty sure, looking at all this bedrock and all this gravel here, if I had the motivation and the time, I could probably clean the whole lot of that top layer off all across here and probably get just as good gold, if not better. Same with this spot here, which is the next drop off from that one. I just went the first drop off, the second drop off here will have gold, third drop off, and this sort of shelf here more than sure will have gold. Back here there's probably a little bit, then it gets down to a clay and then continues down the creek. But you got to always remember that the way you're seeing the creek the day that you get to the creek doesn't necessarily mean it was like that 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 days ago. Things change very, very quickly. And especially where people have been digging. They loosen those gravels up, water comes through and it washes it down the creek, and then you end up with sandbars and stuff like this. And gravel bars. And potentially, if you think about it, let's just say as an example, all the gravel was there and it's been flooding and flooding and flooding, and the lighter stuff's gone off and gone down the creek first, and then as it goes on and the flood continues along, the last gravels that are going to get sucked out of there, which were down the deepest, are going to be on top. Now, yes, if 2 or 3 weeks and it's been flooding and the water's been flowing really hard for 2 or 3 weeks, then the gold will start sinking in really deep. But more than likely, it probably hasn't been raining for 2 or 3 weeks. We haven't had this big gigantic flood, and it's been maybe a week or a few days, and those heavy gravels that got washed out of from up the creek are now here. So potentially, if this isn't tailings and this is just wash from the creek, potentially you could probably come along here and go along the top, maybe stick in the first foot and get some nice colour. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. As normal, I talk too much and my tapes go for too long and people get a bit bored. And I'm not really showing you gigantic colour. This is, look, the channel's always been about someone who's starting out, wants to get a couple ideas. I look at things a lot differently, I suppose, than some of the others out there. It's just my take. It's just what I've learnt from my experience. It's not, oh, you know, the inside band and this and, oh, you know, yes, you know, there's lines and all this sort of stuff. But you know what? If every single prospector out there just followed the lines, just followed the same advice, you know what? They're all digging in the same place. Try things differently. Always try things differently. You know? Doing a pan's not going to kill you in 10, 15 places. Like if I was going to potentially do this whole place, I'd go over the whole creek. I'd go backwards and forwards all the way along and try and work out where the gold is, where the line is, and potentially where people haven't dug or left behind for whatever reason. You might get surprised, you never know. But till the next time, I'll catch you all later.